Welcome to the Straight to Jail podcast, written and produced by Brian Herring. Chapter 9, Blue Ember. Johnny's unmarked car rolled through the downtown streets, the glow of the city casting hazy reflections against the windshield. The club Tony mentioned. Blue Ember wasn't just another hole-in-the-wall dive. It was a fortress for criminals in tailored suits. A place where power brokered deals in the shadows, all under the guise of a sleek nightlife scene. Johnny glanced at the rearview mirror. Kyle sat in the passenger seat, adjusting his tie one of Johnny's spares and muttering under his breath about how much he hated dressing up. In the back seat, Tony leaned forward, his demeanor cool but sharp, like a coiled snake ready to strike.
You all remember the plan, right? My memory ain't that great these days.
Kyle says to the two.
We go in, find Morris, and get him out quietly.
Johnny replied flatly, eyes on the road.
No unnecessary noise, Kyle. I want this clean.
Kyle snorted, tightening the collar of his jacket.
Since when have we ever done anything clean, Johnny? Let's just hope Tony here ain't setting us up.
Tony chuckled, leaning back.
Relax, Kyle. You're starting to sound paranoid. I told you I want these bastards gone as much as you do.
Johnny didn't respond. Truth was, Kyle wasn't wrong to be suspicious. They were walking into enemy territory, with Tony, a former mole and professional survivor, leading the way. If this went sideways, Johnny had no doubt they'd be leaving in body bags. The car pulled to a stop across the street from the club. The Blue Ember glowed with neon lights, the thumping bass from inside faintly audible even through the closed windows. A long line of well-dressed patrons snaked around the entrance, their laughter and chatter a stark contrast to what Johnny knew lay beyond those doors.
All right.
Johnny said, pulling his Glock from the holster and sliding it into a hidden shoulder reg beneath his jacket.
We're businessmen tonight. Blend in, keep your heads down, and follow my lead.
Kyle grinned, running a hand through his slick-back hair.
This is gonna be fun.
Inside, the Blue Ember was a world of its own. The air hummed with music and low conversations, the stench of expensive cologne mixing with cigarette smoke. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling, casting a soft glow on sleek leather booths and marble floors. Tony led the way, his swaggering gait drawing the occasional glance from the club's regulars. Johnny and Kyle flanked him, their eyes scanning the room for threats.
He'll be in the VIP section.
Tony advised, nodding toward a velvet-roped area guarded by two burly men in tailored suits.
Morris don't like mingling with the common folk.
Johnny surveyed the situation.
Okay, we need a good distraction. Kyle, you still got that mouth on you, right?
Kyle smirked.
You mean my charm?
Yeah, let's call it that. Go start something. I don't care what. Just make enough noise to pull away those guards.
Kyle cracked his knuckles, his grin widening.
You got it, boss.
As Kyle sauntered off, Johnny turned to Tony.
I really hope this works.
It'll work.
Tony said confidently, his eyes already fixed on the VIP section. Kyle didn't waste time. He approached the bar, ordered the strongest drink on the menu, and promptly accidentally spilled it on the nearest patron, a mountain of a man in a white suit.
You clumsy piece of shit.
The man said, grabbing Kyle by the collar. Kyle raised his hands in mock surrender, his voice dripping with sarcasm.
Whoa! Big guy, chill. It's just a drink. Don't get your overpriced suit in a twist.
The man's face turned crimson, and just as Johnny had hoped, the commotion drew the attention of the guards by the VIP section. They pushed through the crowd toward the shouting match, leaving their post unguarded. Johnny and Tony seized the opportunity. Moving quickly, they slipped past the velvet rope and into the VIP lounge. The VIP section was quieter, the music muffled by heavy drapes and soundproofing. Morris sat at the far end, surrounded by two scantily clad women and a small group of bodyguards. He was a wiry man with sharp features and slick-back hair, his suit pristine and a gold chain glinting against his chest.
That's him.
Tony pointed. Johnny nodded, loosening his shoulders.
Follow my lead.
They approached the table with calm, measured steps. One of Morris' bodyguards spotted them first, shifting to block their path.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
The guard asked, his tone cold. Johnny smiled politely.
Yeah, we're here to talk to Morris. It's urgent.
The guard's expression hardened.
Mr. Morris doesn't do unscheduled meetings. Get lost.
Tony stepped up, his voice dripping with swagger.
You telling me Morris don't want to hear about who's skimming off his cash flow? Because I'm sure he'd love to hear what I got to say.
At the mention of skimming, Morris looked up sharply. He waved a hand and the bodyguard reluctantly stepped aside.
You've got 5 minutes.
Morris said, his voice ragged and dangerous.
Talk fast.
Johnny and Tony stepped closer. Johnny's tone dropped, cold and direct.
You don't know us, Morris, but we know you. We know you're the bookkeeper for the people pulling the strings. We also know you're laundering their cash. Now here's the thing. That makes you valuable. Valuable to us.
Morris' eyes narrowed.
And why the hell would I help you?
Johnny smirked faintly.
Because if you don't, we'll make sure your bosses think you're the one skimming, and we both know what happens when they lose trust.
Morris didn't answer right away. He leaned back in his chair. He studied Johnny and Tony, his calculating mind clearly at work. Tony leaned in, lowering his voice.
Work with us, Morris. Help us bring these bastards down, and we'll make sure you walk away clean. You play us, and we'll let your bosses sort you out.
The room fell silent for a moment, tension hanging thick in the air. Finally, Morris nodded slowly.
I'll help you, but under one condition. I want protection. If you get me out of this situation alive, I'll give you proper compensation.
Johnny extended a hand.
Deal.
Reluctantly, Morris shook it, sealing the uneasy agreement. Minutes later, Johnny and Tony slipped back into the main club, where Kyle was still fending off the furious patron. Seeing Johnny give a subtle nod, Kyle grinned and ducked under a wild swing.
Looks like my work here is done.
Kyle said, sprinting toward the exit. Johnny, Tony, and Kyle slipped into the alley behind the club, the night air cool on their faces.
We got him.
Johnny said, his voice steady but grim.
This is just the beginning.